We're going to continue looking at spreadsheets in this assignment here. And what you're going to do is duplicate this spreadsheet, and you're going to get some practice making a chart as shown here. And I want to show you how to do that. So you should start with this spreadsheet. So this is the one that you should have turned in last time. So it should be in Google Classroom, and evidently you can't modify this sheet. I was going to have you do that, but we can do this instead. So you can come up to this tab, which again you should already have, and just copy it to a new spreadsheet. So you're going to copy it there and then open the spreadsheet, and you've got a brand new spreadsheet with that tab present. And you're going to name this, I think I have you name it last name, first name, using spreadsheets 2. Okay, now what I want you to do as we come through here is I want you to copy that tab that I just did into a new spreadsheet as I just showed, and then here what you're going to make is this right here. So you're going to do a very simple thing. You're going to have various values of the radii, and so that we don't have to come up with numbers here, I'm just going to use the inch values in increments of 1/16 of an inch here, and then I'm going to write an equation for the diameter and then also the circumference, and I'm going to use relative references to access the radius to get the diameter and circumference, and I'm going to use I said relative reference, right? And then here I'm going to use an absolute reference to access the numerical value of pi, which is right there, and then I'm going to graph it, and that's what you're going to do. So let me do that. Let me go back to that spreadsheet. Not that one. Not that one. It's this one. Okay. So what you can do is you can grab this copy here with the mouse, do a Control C, click the plus sign to make a new tab, Control V, and you've got column, oh, not that one, sorry. You're going to grab the decimal values, not the other one. Control C, go to that new sheet, column A1, Control V. And here I think I have you put radius, and then inches. And there we go. And then I have you take this out to three digits after the decimal. So that should match what we have here. Okay? Now, what I want you to do now is here, this says diameter in inches again, and you can see that it's too big. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to word wrap, text wrap right there. I'm going to click B for bold, and I'm going to center justify it right here. Okay, and here I'm going to write circumference, circumference, and again parentheses inches, and again it overflows, so I'm going to word wrap, text wrap, whoops, sorry, that was a different one. So it's this one right there, and then B for bold and center justify. Okay, again I'm trying to duplicate this, so I've got the column headers. Now I need to add pi. So to do that, I'm going to write pi equals space, and I'm going to right justify that one. So I'm going to come here and click that one. You'll see why in a minute. So I'm going to pull that out a little bit, or make that column smaller using that technique. And here I'm going to put the numerical value of pi, 3.1415. That's good enough for us. There it is. And why do I have all the space here? Well, I don't want that, so I'm going to left justify that. And you can see now I've got pi right there. And I can access this value right here through an absolute reference. Okay, let's do the equations then. So the diameter is 2 times the radius. So I'm going to type equal. I'm going to click 2 times, and click in A2, the radius equals. And you can see that Sheets is intelligent enough to know what I'm probably going to do and it auto fills down here. But I'm going to decline to have that done because I want to make sure everybody knows how to manually do that. So I'm going to come here, and you can see the formula up here is 2 times A2. And if I pull this down 1, you see this one right here is 2 times A3. So this is a relative reference. A2 is a relative reference. And when I increment and pull down here, then A2 changes from A3 to A4, A5, and it does what I want it to do. So let me center that and take it out to 3 points after 3 digits after decimal. Whoops, missed that one. There we go. Okay, so this column here should be twice this column. It's just the diameter versus radius. Okay, now circumference. That's where we're going to use the absolute reference up here in E2. Okay, watch closely. So equals, it's 2 pi r, right? 2 pi times the radius equals 2 times the radius, click in A2, time 2 pi, well, this is 2r, let's do 2 pi r, so I'm going to back up, sorry, 2 times, and then the value pi here, so I click in cell E1, click, boink, then click F4 to put the dollar signs in front of the E and the 1. That means it's an absolute reference. It won't increment as I drag down in a minute. If you can't get the F4 key to work, you'll just have to manually put in the dollar signs. So 2 pi, and then I click in A2 to give me R, enter. Whoops. Did that work? No, it didn't. Equals 2 times pi as an absolute reference times the radius right there. That's the circumference, and I'm going to drag down like that and take it down to 3 places after the decimal, center it, and I'm good. Okay, now in order to create a graph, grab here, hold down the control key, grab here, insert, chart, and there it is. Now it shows a scatter chart. I'm going to change it to a line right there. Whoops. Okay, that's right. And then if I click on it, I can give it a point size. There we go. So that's the circumference versus radius, and that's what we have here. Okay. Now, what I want you to do also is something of your own that you anything. So what I'm going to add a new sheet here, or tab, and I'm going to rename it to My Data. This is the second part of the assignment, and I say graph anything. Make a data set and graph it. And I say this should actually be called rename circumference. I think circumference. Let's see, what do I have you call it? Be sure and read these. Do as I say, not as I do. So I've basically, yeah, the tab is called circumference. So there it is. Now, if you can't think of anything, just do the volume of a sphere versus the radius. So I'm going to grab this data, Control C, go to My Data, paste in A1, Control V, and again the instructions say do something that interests you. Maybe plot, baseball data. I don't know. The A's record for the last 20 years. You can find that on the internet. Now, but if you can't think of anything, then this is what you should do. Volume of a sphere in inches cubed. Okay, I know what to do now. I want to text wrap that. Boink. Bold. Center justify, and I'm ready to go. Okay, now what's the formula for volume of a sphere? There we go. Let's see. Yeah, volume of a sphere. 4/3 pi times the radius cubed. All right, well, let's do that. Equals, now use parentheses to do the 4/3, whoops, okay, there's 4/3, times pi. Now I forgot pi. So what I'm going to do is go back to my circumference and I'm going to grab it here, Control C, go to my data, and C1 Control V. Okay, I've got my data there. Now, equals 4/3 pi r cubed. 4 divided by 3 in parentheses to make sure it, PEMDAS, all that stuff, times 4/3 pi here, click in D, 1, hit the F4 to make it an absolute reference. Now times the radius here, so I click in A2, and I need to cube that. I could do times A2 to do it 3 times, but I want you to use the caret key. So this is Shift 6 and then 3, and that'll give you the volume of a sphere, cubing it. And I accepted Google Sheets to do that, to extend it down, and I'm going to reduce it down a little bit and center justify it. And now I want you to graph that. Select it, insert chart, and there it is. It's a cubic function, and I can again click on it, and I can choose circle, and it'll put some data points there. So that's what I want you to do for my data. If you can't think of anything else, I'd like for you to think of something like baseball results, football, whatever you like. But there you go. So let's see, anything else? One other thing I think I have you do is to pull this line down here. You see, if you just grab that and pull down, it'll put that gray line there. What that does is it makes sure when I scroll anywhere, it'll keep those header row values visible. So that's good to have. Okay, thanks for listening and watching.